guys, this is Aromie here and welcome back to our life. So I looked it up and based on their update, release of Step 3 DLC is on track and should finish in 2 or 3 months. So that's either in March or April, I think. And then launch of Step 4 is getting vaguer on the estimate time, so it's probably going to be mid-2021. Release of Derek and Baxter's DLC is also out mid-2021. And then the second part of Our Life Now Forever, the demo will be out late 2021. So everything's gonna be either, it seems like most of the stuff will be in the mid of 2021, so we have time to recuperate our feelings and have time to just replay the game multiple times to see where you want your actual character to be. I'm hoping somewhere down the line I'm gonna have Cove as a boyfriend, but I feel like maybe I missed out on that when I didn't choose that he was my boyfriend. I kind of want him to ask us though, so that's why I haven't like directly chose for him to be our boyfriend. But if I lose my shot, then hopefully in Step 4. Anyway, we're gonna go hang out. You grab a large beach towel from your bed and stuff it into a bag. You had already packed your water bottle for your upcoming beach hangout session. Oh, we're hanging out at the beach. That's nice. The stars had aligned and somehow everyone was free today. Miranda had set things up with several bubbly phone calls between you, Cove, and Terry. Damn, where is my cousin? And to find a time to hit the beach. You're hoping that this would be a fun time together. Oh my god, Cove! Oh god, put a shirt on. Oh, he's so cute with his little pink like trunks. Terry better lay off. She better not put her hands on you again, or else I'm gonna be upset. Cove sat on your windowsill and kicked one of his legs into the air idly. He already had his swimsuit on, and his towel was bundled under his arm in a misshapen ball. He'd shown up earlier that morning with a surprising amount of enthusiasm. He was chatting as you caught up to his preparation. But seriously, I couldn't find my swimsuit this morning. I looked everywhere. It had disappeared. I had no idea what I was gonna do. You could have gotten a new one, new one somewhere. This is so cute. It's like casual conversation. What happened to all your other swimsuits? You don't have to wear a swimsuit to be on a beach. Yeah, it completely vanished somehow, just like your old sand pail. You totally didn't just lose your stuff again.
Seriously?
Very funny, Michiko. That was different, and I was 8. Anyways, I don't know why it was in the bathroom when I never put it there. He gave a small smile and readjusted a towel on his arms. You now could see that it had been folded at some point, but then rolled up and carried without much care.
I'm so glad.
But I'm just glad I found it. It would have been crappy to lose my favorite trunks. So cute, cause it's pink. It was nice to see Ko so happy and comfortable in what he was wearing. You walked over to your dresser and mused about how you had to pick out your own swimsuit. Your height had complicated your swimsuit shopping. Now many swimsuits were well-fitting on someone who's petite, and then for the shape of your body. You're heavy set, you're chubby, you had curves, you're slender, you're scrawny. I have curves. And you had noticeable muscle, you had a little muscle definition, your body was soft, your body was delicate. I have little muscle definition. I have been working out and dude, the way I can flex my arms now makes me so happy because my muscles goes boom. It's so nice to see. Maybe I'll like put a clip of it somewhere because I'm so proud. Okay, I'm so proud of my progress. You had a little muscle definition. Your build was toned and firm with muscles that were there, though slight in size. I do have a chub tub though. I'm trying to get a flat tummy for. You had gained more muscle in recent years. It's clear when compared to how you were when you were younger.
Are you okay?
You alright? Oh, yeah, I was thinking about some things. What things? Just myself and my body, really. Do you remember when we had a talk about our body, Cove? His eyebrows rose at your admission of self-reflection. And what do you think? What did you think of who you were? You considered your identity further. You had always felt sure about your gender. You wonder if your gender was really something you felt right about. I always felt sure about my gender. Being called her was right for you. And you had small boobs. Your breasts were not exactly small, but not huge either. You were well endowed. Endowed? In the past you had breasts, but had them surgically removed. Your breasts were not exactly small, but not huge either. They were medium, you supposed. You liked the size you had. You wished they were smaller, might get a reduction. You wished they were bigger, might get implants. You used a binder. What's a binder? You used a binder, but we're also considering other options. You You left them as they were, but we're considering options for them. I mean, I wish I was a little bigger, but I'm not gonna get implants, and I'm not gonna consider options for it. I'm just dealing with it. You like the size you had, I guess. People had a lot of their identity wrapped up in their physical form. It shaped their self-image. You were confident in yours, you were comfortable in yours, you weren't really content with yours, you hated your body, you knew you had body dysphoria. I'm not really content with mine. That's why I'm trying to work hard to work out to get to the point where I am happy. So there were things you didn't like. You didn't hate it per se, but it wasn't all that you wanted it to be either. You had pretty much always been unhappy with your body. Even when you were younger, it felt off, and that still hadn't changed. You didn't feel like who you wanted to be. He focused on Kova again. He smiled at you and tilted his head, a question still in his eyes. He was waiting for you to come to an answer, but before you could, he had something to say to him. You like the way I look, right? What do you think about me? What do you think about me? About how I look, I mean. Cove frowned, his eyebrows furrowed in concern, as if he were trying to find the best words to say. Then his eyes warmed like he was looking at something truly special.
Michiko.
Well, I didn't. Michiko, you're wonderful. No matter what anybody thinks, you, me, anyone, you're still wonderful. It just can't be helped. It's a fact of life. Cove stopped speaking and looked at you for a moment. He kicked his feet as he considered something, and then nodded with a thoughtful expression on his face. He stared forward and directly met your eyes. I've known you for a long time, since we were kids, you know. I've seen you just about every day for the past decade, so I think it's fair for me to say this.
It's nice.
Each day you're different from before, just by a little bit, but you're also still the same. You're always you. It's nice to see you keep developing as a person. I do want to keep being. I do want you to keep being you, but the only one who gets to decide who that is you. You choose who you are today. You get to choose who you are tomorrow. That's okay with me. Dude, you're so... How can you be so perfect? It's probably because you're 2D. Thank you. You smile with tears. It's the same with you. You didn't know how to react. You smile with tears. Moisture started gathering in your eyes, so you began to blink rapidly. You couldn't stop the tears from coming even as you smiled so widely your cheeks hurt. What could you even say to that? Ko seemed a little concerned by your tears, but he smiled back.
Hey,
Michiko. Ko gave a bent smile, pointing to your arms. You're looking particularly toned today. He answered with, not with words, but a solid okay sign with both hands and the same cheeky smile. Ko suddenly flushed when he realized how boldly he complimented you. He stood by it, even if he was a little red. Thanks, fam! You're a little taken aback, but came out of nowhere. You glanced at yourself. I didn't know you liked my arms so much. Yeah. You started to flex and show off jokingly. Dude, I would. If Tyler were like, hey, you look more toned today. Oh, really? You're flirtatiously stretched. You stood there stunned. You're so sweet and fantastic. You have some very good arms yourself. You hugged him. Oh, wait, I can hug him, though. But I could flex, though. Or I could flirtatiously stretch. Yo, those are some good options here. Good options. Let's flirtatiously stretch. You flutter your eyelashes and slowly stretch your arms out in front of you towards him. What am I doing? Your sleeve fell down, but instead of fixing it, let it stay that way. You looked Ko straight in the eyes as you openly displayed your arms. Ko turned bright red and jumped to his feet. His towel dropped to the ground as he practically flew over to you. He looked at your arms and then tried to gently nudge them back down. Yeah, you can stop now. Really? He's so cute. He laughed nervously and flailed a little. You took pity on him and stopped displaying yourself. You got the reaction you wanted. He retreated back to sitting on the windowsill and retrieved his towel, head hung low to try hiding his expression. Finally, you felt that was enough of that topic for one day. You went back to your original goal before you got sidetracked. You needed to pick what you wanted to wear to the beach. You chose to wear casual clothes instead. You picked a one-piece swimsuit. You decided to wear a two-piece bikini. You chose a two-piece tankini. You wanted to wear your wetsuit. Typically I would wear a one-piece because I was so insecure. But this me here is a bit more toned, so I think I would feel a little more comfortable with the one-piece again. Let's wear a two-piece because, you know, your girl's a little bit more toned. While you dug around in your drawers, you tried to think if there was anything else you were missing. You took sunglasses, you grabbed a hat, you brought a shawl. I need a hat because I almost had a heat stroke at one point. Wait, I didn't like. Let me look at all these other stuff. You grabbed your board shorts, picked out a regular shirt to wear as well. You grabbed a full swimsuit cover up to wear. Oh, see, I would grab a hat and a shawl or something you put over yourself, right? Let's grab a hat because that's important. With that taken care of, you held your outfit together and looked to Cove. He was tapping his toes on the side of the wall as he waited. You vaguely wondered if he thought that was a comfortable place to sit. He hoped so, given how long he perched on it. Regardless, it was time for him to go. You weren't going to put on your beachwear with him just chilling there. Well, I'm gonna change, so how about you wait outside? Cove nodded reassuringly. Alright. Cove lowered himself out the window and strode past you to get to the door. He lightly brushed his fingers against your cheek when he passed by. Wait, why? Why'd you do that?
Bye.
I'll see you out front. That's so cute, what the fuck? Okay. When you got undressed and put your swimwear on, you also checked your beach bag for the final time, and it seemed like you hadn't forgotten anything. You left your room and hurried down the stairs, ready to meet Cove. You made sure to lock your door and walked outside. Cove stood in the road, looking down and scuffing his feet on the asphalt. When you shut your heavy door, he looked up at you and smiled. Nice to see you again. Hi. Miranda and Terry are gonna be here in not too long. Oh, what is Terry wearing? Terry even texted me earlier saying she was mostly on schedule.
Well,
why don't we just head to the beach and wait for them there? We're both ready. That sounded like a good idea to you. You said as much, and Cove shot off a quick text telling the two of them where you'd be. Cove gave you a thumbs up after the message sent. It was a familiar path to walk, and it wasn't long until you reached the shore. I just want to hold his hand already. Damn it. Can we just hold hands and walk to the beach? Cove laid out his towel on the warm sand. You set up your stuff beside him and looked out into the ocean. The rolling swells hit the shore rhythmically. Oh, look how cute! We all had lucked out. It was a beautiful day. The sky was clear and the waves were good. It was a balmy summer day with a pleasant breeze to keep things comfortable. Essentially, it was perfect.
So?
Do you feel like heading into the water? Maybe just walk down the shore? Or would you want to do something here? The water sounds good. Taking a stroll will be fun. I don't mind my feet being in the water. You plan to just get some sun? Either way, it's fine. What do you want to do? I think taking a stroll would be fun. Can we like collect seashells and stuff? You wiggled your toes in response to the comment, looked off into the shoreline. Cove nodded, accepting of the plan. He kicked some sand off his towel absentmindedly. Yeah, sounds nice. I keep double tapping. You took a deep breath and tasted the relaxing, salty air. Cove caught your eye and gave you a small smile. You chatted a little before a comfortable quiet settled over the two of you, content to watch the waves as you waited for the others. Luckily, it didn't take long until you heard shouts. You turned your head to see both Miranda and Terry running straight for you. Miranda was faster, making leaps and bounds across the sand. Terry followed her in wake, laughing with her towel clutched around her shoulders and flowing like a cape. Miranda started making her jumps more theatric and more precarious as she got closer. Cove waved them on with a bright grin. You shouted a greeting, you cheered at their antics, you waved too, you laughed, you shook your head, you hoped they wouldn't fall. I think I would wave. Terry tried to wave with both hands while running, one for you and Cove, but she was distracted and lost her balance, nearly falling, laughing all the while. Oh, Miranda, you're so cute. Miranda's so cute. And Terry out here looking athletic as fuck. And two officially arrived at Cove's and you're set up, looking completely ready for an ocean adventure. They were already in their swimwear and were raring to go. Hey Terry, Miranda, welcome to our beach.
Hey!
Hi! Hello, hello! She beamed and Miranda nodded with a smile.
Oh, yeah.
I am so pumped. Yeah, I'm really glad it's worked out. What have you guys been up to over here in your town? Cove, Michiko, have you missed anything? Or missed things? Cove blinked and then shrugged when nothing he wanted to mention came to mind. He shrugged like Cove, you gave a vague answer, you gave her a recap over how your family was doing. What have you been up to? I don't think anything happened actually. Terry tilted her head. She then turned to Miranda with a grin. Then, what about you? Anything you can say, Randy? Miranda looked back and forth between you and Cove. Then with a small, evil smirk, she too shrugged. Aw, come on. Somebody's got to answer. Miranda burst out giggling. Cove snorted. Terry then started talking about her morning and how she almost overslept since she had to stay up had stayed up too late last night. She bounced on her feet as she spoke. But don't worry about me being tired today. You know I ran on less Baxter in school. Miranda filled in the group about her morning. Apparently everything had gone smoothly. She met up with Terry on the way here, and you knew the rest. Cove offered a suggestion to the girls. Hey, let's walk while we catch up.
Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. You felt pleased that Cove remembered what you wanted to do. Sometimes you could be thoughtful like that. Dear God. Fuck Cove! Once everyone's step was settled on the beach, the group strolled over to the shoreline. The wet sand was cool under your feet. A wave rushed up and covered your ankles in the water. You plunged from the suddenness of it, but by the next wave, you were acclimated. You took another step forward and sank a little into the ground. Behind you, your footprints were soon smoothed by the waves. Your friends chatted as you all walked together. You took turns pointing out cool shells or pieces of sea glass. It was a relaxing jaunt. Hours passed and the group had moved between different activities, some low-key and some more exhaustive. For you, it was another break time. You sat on your towel and stepped at some water. Your friends were hard at work pairing Terry's full body under a pile. Miranda used her arms to force up sand around Terry's sides. Cove worked on covering Terry's feet. You took another drink and closed your eyes. Eventually, a shadow passed over you, dampening the light that was still notably in behind your eyelids. Oh, Cove! You checked to see Cove had joined you there. He knelt down to dig around the pile of assorted beach stuff in the middle of everyone's towel setup and pulled out the sunscreen. He took a seat next to you on his towel. He opened the bottle with a soft pop and began to reapply the cream. Hey! Hey, I guess! He ran his hands across his chest to work the sunscreen in, and you might have checked him out a little from the corner of your eye while still sipping some water. But then he sighed again. This time in an exaggeratedly disappointed way. You wondered if he was going to sigh again, even more dramatically, if you didn't say anything. That's wrong, you honestly wondered. You wondered what it was. You raised an eyebrow, you chuckled. Oh, come, whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be okay. He joked. After all, this is an excellent place to hide a body. He gestured at Terry, who was practically just a hill of sand with a human head at this point. That got a quick chuckle out of him, but he quickly hid his amusement. Cove shook his head, comically despondent. His frown didn't match the spark on his eyes.
Don't worry about it.
I'm just becoming another jaded adult, that's all. Now you're really confused. You waited for him to continue, and his next sigh did not disappoint. It was the most ridiculously sad sigh he had ever heard. Then he smiled a little. Mermaids aren't real. What? That had not been what you were expecting, he continued. You know how much I liked mermaids as a kid. Well, merfolk as a whole. I really hoped that they were out there.
I mean...
The ocean's a big place, right? They could be somewhere. But the older I got, the more I had to accept it. They were just a fairy tale. I thought you were just upset because you couldn't reach the sunscreen on your back. I didn't think we were talking about, like, merfolk. He jerked his head over to the waterline in the rolling waves. They crashed against the shore and then drew back. This is a perfect beach for them. It's pretty and vast and never too crowded. If merfolk did exist, we definitely would have met one by now. Or at least we would have heard of someone else seeing one. But nothing. He acted as though that result was a true bafflement. He let his head hang. I gotta let the dream go. You burst into laughter. That's hardly proof. It's not like this is the only beach in the world. You pretended to be shocked and disappointed. You shook your head. Well, good for you with that revelation. I think I would have laughed. That was hilarious. Cove chuckled a little to himself, eyes tilted off into the sea. His face stood low. Maybe it's for the best. Let's say a merperson did happen to wash up on shore one day. He looked at you with a faux, doleful expression. Faux? I could have lost my best friend to their magical underwater world. Oh yeah, I totally go live under the sea with the merfolk. Even if I had the chance, I'd stay on the shore with you. I'd go with the merperson, but only if you could come with us too. Even if I had the chance, I'd stay on shore with you. Cause eyes widened with amazement.
Really?
You'd pick me, a plain human, over a beautiful mythic merperson? Of course, Cove! I don't like the water that much anyway. He smiled and continued, very clearly joking around at this point. Are you sure that's the right call? If a beautiful, kind merperson falls for somebody, I'm pretty positive that sensible response isn't to turn around and say, no thanks, I'm gonna go stay on land with a normal guy. Are you warning me that you'd leave if you got that kind of offer? Why are you so sure I'd have to make that call? Since this is a hypothetical, why not have you be the merperson? I don't want that. I should get to be a mer creature, and then I'd invite you to the water. I think I would say, are you warning me? Are you warning me, Cove, that you're gonna leave me for a mer person? You don't want me to be blindsided when you ditch me for a mer creature if they're girl. Wait, what? You don't want me to be blindsided when you ditch me? Okay. No! That isn't what I'm trying to say. I'm not the one who'd have to deal with that, you know? It isn't the same kind of thing. If a mer person did magically appear, there's no chance it'd be me they'd called for. The more Cove spoke, the more it sounded like he could be merfolk himself. He was choking on air, a fish out of water. I mean, you're the one who's witty and talented. He barely eked the last words out. There isn't anyone who wouldn't choose you. Oh. You're completely flattered by how highly he thought of you. And then you heard Miranda screech. Your attention immediately switched over to your friends. You saw that Terry had gotten impatient and shifted her legs. The walls Miranda had meticulously been meticulously building collapsed into a wet heap of sand. She surveyed the damage critically. Miranda had to start over on that part. Do you just want to give up on this now?
No way.
The burial must continue. I'll try not to move anymore. Okay, if you're sure, I'll try to fix this. Miranda started to rebury her, and Terry shot her a thumbs up. She realized too late that moving her arm was a bad idea. More of the sand on her crumbled, and Miranda put her head in her hands. Code caught your eye and started to drag himself up. Seems like we're needed. You agreed and followed him over to the girls. Miranda nodded at you both with appreciation, and then the three of you did your best to finish the job. You all worked out a system of using just enough wet sand to help hold the rest together. With 3 people, it didn't take longer for Terry to be intoned. Terry grinned massively, and Miranda offered high fives. The pile was officially done. Oh yeah! Resembling the Kool-Aid Man, she kicked herself out of the ground with gusto. Sand went flying in all directions, and a Terry-shaped imprint was left behind. Miranda yelled again, and Cove chuckled. There probably wasn't a better way to get out of it. The 4 of you continued to have a good time. You went on a shell hunt. Miranda managed to find the biggest, while you found the most colorful. Cove caught a tiny crab. It did a bit of everything. They were impromptu games, just soaking up each other's company. However, after a while, you all had ran out of water, drinkable water anyway. It was decided that you head to your or Cove's house. Things were gathered, and you started to cheerfully walk up the road. What's next? I don't have anywhere to go, so it could be whatever. Same, I guess we can keep hanging out. Terry snorted and readjusted her grip on her things. Don't sound too sure there, Cove. By this point, you could see your house. It hadn't taken you long to make the trip. The conversation continued with everyone throwing out suggestions. Are people hungry? She looked from face to face in expectation. Cove and Miranda shrugged in concert, but no one was overtly opposed to it. However, you weren't really starving. It wasn't quite a mealtime. We could get dessert. Miranda put a finger to her lip and thought. With a smile, her voice became more confident. Yeah, that would be fun. Tara considered it and then shot Miranda a thumbs up. Sounds great to me. I can definitely go for that. You know, I'm up for more. But there's nothing sweet at my house. Your friends glanced at Cove and his place. He shook his head immediately. Dad doesn't have anything good either. I mean, unless you want dessert-flavored protein shakes? Ew, no. She cut in and held her hands up as if trying to ward off something evil. Cove smirked.
Not bad.
It's not that bad.
Nope. Well,
there has to be some kind of sweet shop around here. Let's look it up. I like the way you think. Tara continued to rummage in her bag and grew increasingly frustrated. She puffed out her cheeks and knelt down, setting the bag on the ground. With both hands free, she was finally able to fish. Okay, I thought she lost her phone on the beach or something. Fished out her phone. She raised it up in triumph for a brief moment of celebration.
I'm on it.
I'll search for something good. Terry got back to her feet, hefting the bag over one arm, tapping away at her screen the other. But she assessed Cove from top to bottom. No shirt, no shoes, no service. Cove glanced down at his bare chest and feet. Having not even registered it prior, he chuckled a little. I'll grab something. Cove moved over to his house. He looked towards yours. You decided to change as well. You waited outside with the girls. I mean, they're in their swimsuits too. I think I'll be okay. So what's the point of me changing and they're not able to change? You waited outside with the girls. You watched Cove disappear into his house. Tara was deep in the midst of scrolling through food options. You shuffled over to where you could see, and Miranda did the same. There's ice cream. People love ice cream, especially around here. I don't really feel like ice cream. Cool, because I don't either. She flicked her finger up and another ice cream place showed up. Melty moo-moos, frozen treats with an uncomfortable cartoon mascot. I like ice cream. It's just not for today. There has to be something else. Is there like shaved ice? You thought on it and Tara kept scrolling. You heard a door open and Cove reappeared. Aw, his little orca outfit. Cute. You're not a fan of the is that a dolphin? Or is it just whales? You're about to be surprised at how quick he was, but then notice he just thrown on a t-shirt over his swim trunks and slipped a pair of sandals on. Of course. Hey! Everyone else exchanged their respective greetings and then looked back at Terry's phone. Oh, what about this place? They sell crepes. Oh, right, crepes! Crepes was the icon. That's something you don't see every day. Look how fancy they are. She shoved her phone into your face and it seems like a cute shop. It didn't show any pictures of the actual building, but the food seemed good. It was one of those places that put a lot of effort into presentation with branded wrapping for the crepes and well-applied toppings. Weird. I've never heard of it. I haven't either. Mysterious, but crepes are so good. She nodded her approval as Terry admired more of the photos. I'd go. It's not too far, but we could drive. Terry cheered at the success of a plan made, and you all walked around to Cove's car. He had to run inside once more to grab his keys. He wrote "Wash me in the dirt" on his car. He waited for Cove. No, I'll just wait for him. Terry leaned back against the car door as the group stood by for his return. The car beeped and unlocked. Cove ran up to you with his car keys in hand. His hair slipped into his face and he brushed it back. Shotgun! Whoa! Terry! I was like, she's not too bad today. She's bad now. She clambered into the passenger seat without hesitation. You didn't argue and climbed into the back with Miranda. Terry activated the directions on her phone map. I guess. Her phone is a GPS. And acted as their navigator, directing Cove to the crepes. The GPS tried to get Cove to turn into a non-existent road once and wanted him to do a U-turn instead of just using a left turn. But with Terry looking at the actual path, it went smoothly enough. You were led to a small stall in the parking lot rather than a full building. That explained why there hadn't been pictures of the crepery's interior, and why it was new to you despite living in this town your entire life. It was a completely new structure that popped up recently. There was a window you could walk up to and one for cars to drive up to. Cove parked with a laugh.
Come on.
I don't think I needed to put a shirt on for this, but I still want to try it. Let's go.
What?
Do you not trust us to eat in your car? She gestured to the drive-thru option. Cove shook his head with a snort. I trust some people here. Maybe. But wouldn't it be more fun to actually check it out? Everyone acknowledged his point and piled out. Terry tried to tease Cove a little, but Miranda started talking about the last time she had crepes. Apparently, there had been a dessert explosion topped with multiple sauces, powdered sugar, and what Miranda was pretty sure had to be cake icing. That's sweet.
So great.
Literally, it was so good, but I regretted it so much. I couldn't finish it, and I really tried. You can do it this time, Randy. Oh, it's so cute here. It's been so long since I had a crepe. Now I want one. What the fuck? Probably well, technically last year my brother tried to make a crepe. It was good, but like, it wasn't enough toppings for all of us. There were some laughs. When you got up to the menu, you realized that there were more than just crepes. There were definitely crepes, many crepes. However, the stall also had a lot of different drinks as well. Tea, smoothies, milkshakes. Jackpot! She grinned and held out her fist for a fist bump. Miranda high-fived it. The two stared at the awkward, vaguely turkey-shaped hand configuration they had made and then slowly put their hands down. Cove's mouth twitched in a smile. You stepped up to order first. You glanced back at the menu. You ordered a crepe. And a drink? No. I think I'm just gonna order a crepe. I'd like a crepe, please. There was a woman who looked a little older than you taking the order. She smiled back at you, ready to hear the specifics of your purchase. For the crepe itself, you wanted strawberry. For the filling and toppings, you wait. Okay, the crepe itself, plain. For the filling and toppings, you picked condensed milk, whipped cream, strawberries, banana, caramel. I think that's it. Mixed berries. Maybe mango too. Oh, and powdered sugar. Okay, now that's it. You paid and stepped aside to let your friends order. Coke got a lemon crepe with powdered sugar on top and the mixed berries. He also got plain strawberry smoothie. Terry went crazy with toppings. Although she ordered a plain crepe, she had it smothered with whipped cream, cream cheese, chocolate chips, chocolate syrup, and bananas. Miranda opted for a frappe with caramel syrup and condensed milk. Oh, so Miranda was so hyped to have crepes, and she only ordered a drink. The four of you stood off to the side as you waited for your treats. Michiko, man, your crepe is gonna rock. High five for topping appreciation. Are you trying to get me back on your side now? She held her hand out expectantly. It left her hanging. Why would you do that? I mean, I don't I mean, she a little touchy to Cove, but I wouldn't do that. You gave her a high five. You hit her hand with a satisfying smack. Order for me, Chico. Oh, I've got to get that. You grabbed your order. The others didn't take much time after that. With the goods collected, everyone admired their treats. Terry dug right into hers, and Miranda gave her an attentive sip. Terry nodded acceptingly with her mouth completely full. Miranda tilted the frappe over to her with a grin. Terry sipped it and clearly loved it. She raised the crepe over to Miranda, who you could tell that there was an intent to make it look nice, but with all those sort of toppings piled on, only so much could be done. Miranda took a huge bite with gusto inside happily. Terry seemed satisfied and took another slip of Miranda's drink. They had both only gotten one thing, probably because they knew they'd end up sharing. Aw, cute. Cove, do you want to share ours? Terry, Miranda, can I join the sharing? You offered to share your order with everyone? You said nothing started consuming? Because we're a fat ass right now. No. Cove, do you want to share ours? His face lit up with excitement. He passed you his crepe.
Of course.
Aw. You exchanged treats and took a chomp on the lemon crepe. It was light, with the sourness from the lemon and the sweetness from the syrup berry mix. The smoothie was finely blended with the occasional chunk of strawberry. Cove seemed to enjoy his taste, and then he swapped back. He smiled as he took a loud sip from his smoothie. Thanks, you always get good stuff. Aw. With that, Cove started to eat his treat in earnest. You saw him take a huge gulp of his smoothie, and then, without swallowing, he added a bite of his lemon crepe. His habit of mixing foods together wasn't anything new. He hummed in satisfaction, so you guess he must have liked the combined flavor. Cove? Terry tore off a piece of her crepe and handed. Oh, I was like, are you gonna eat after him now? I don't like this indirect kiss. Terry tore off a piece of her crepe and held it out to Cove. Care to make a trade? No. No, this is indirect kissing, Terry. Sure. What if she knows? Sure. Instead of continuing to loiter in the parking lot, the four of you started to walk down the sidewalk. There was a lot of sharing going on, with crepe bits and toppings being passed around. You wouldn't have been surprised if Terry ended up drinking more frappe than Miranda did. He kept going down the way, eating, drinking, and chatting. You hadn't realized just how far the group had wandered until you ended up at the now leaving sign. Apparently, you were about to just walk right out into the middle of nowhere. Terry took her mouth off of Miranda's straw and stopped sipping the frappe. Impossible, preposterous. How are we already at the end? I always forget how tiny this town really is. Cove chuckled a little and swallowed a chunk of Terry's crepe.
I guess.
It kinda is, huh? It didn't feel that small when we were growing up. It definitely felt bigger then. It always seemed like there wasn't much here. There were tinier places out there. You guys are lucky to live in decent-sized cities. To quietly nod along the shrug. It definitely felt bigger then. It felt like that because like we walked forever when Cove ran away that day. There was a time when Sunset Bird had felt huge. It seemed as endless as the ocean. There was always some street you hadn't wandered down, something new for the tourists. But now you had realized it was just a pawn in this big, big world. Seeing the definite end only reinforced this. Here was the boundary that proved your hometown could be walked out with ease. I guess this means we should probably head back. One doesn't just walk into nowhere land. We're not the only one, Terry. There's four of us. Terry scrunched up her face, not wanting to acknowledge the bad joke. She decided to ignore it. It stings having to go all the way back. Yeah, but it's not like there's anything out that direction. And if we did keep going forward, it'd be even a longer trip home. You stared off into the stretch of road as Cove agreed that he didn't want to go out any further. Can we take a break here first before we turn around? We've been walking for a while and someone finished my drink. Right on cue, Terry loudly sucked air from the straw. It was so good. Brandon looked at her, but Terry remained unrepentant. In the end, though, it was great to hang around the sign before heading back to the car. It didn't take long to finish the rest of the food and drinks. Everyone gathered up the trash and stuffed it into bags and pockets for now. The group relaxed on the grass, keeping account of all the cars that drove past. It was not a high number. 14. The newest passing car drove into town from somewhere outside, but as the vehicle came by, it slowed down and you watched as it ultimately rolled to a complete stop. The black car parked right by the now leaving sign. The black car parked right by the now leaving sign. Everyone exchanged a baffled look. But then the tinted window rolled down. The driver peered out. As soon as you saw us, Harry recognized him. No one else you knew represented themselves so distinctively. Hey, neighbors! Hi, Baxter. Cove also jolted with recognition. He passed it on a cordial smile and waved politely. Afterwards, he put his mouth back over the straw of his long, empty drink, as if trying to act cool. So you waved at him hi, and you just wondered what he was doing here. You wish he hadn't stopped the chat. You smiled and you were excited to see him. I'm just gonna wave. He leaned forward and tried to get a better look. His hands were loose on his steering wheel, and he seemed rather relaxed to have just pulled over on the side of the road. He waved and he nodded in acknowledgement. And he thought about the odd picture this made. A fancy black car pulled over to talk to a group of teens, mostly still in beachwear. Miranda was incredibly confused and shrank back to watch. Terry tilted her head in an unspoken question. Cove made a quick gesture pointing towards Baxter, and the light bulb went off for Terry.
Alright.
Ah, that's the new person in the condo, the B-man, right? Yeah, Baxter.
Oh.
Oh, I wasn't sure if I'd ever actually see him. Her voice was quiet. Miranda usually got shy around new people. Terry is quite the opposite. Alright, Miranda, you and I are gonna be two peas in a pod. Incredible, this is perfect. Terry hopped up from the grass and ran to Baxter's car, all full of excitement. Behind her, Miranda picked herself up and dusted imaginary dirt off her clothes. She sent a searching look to you and Cove, to which Cove shrugged. Miranda nodded and with clenched fist, hesitantly followed Terry. Terry bent down and talked to Baxter. Not Baxter. Baxter through his window. She blasted through introductions, with Miranda putting in a shy wait. Cove looked at you. He still clearly had no intention of going over. Stay with Cove. You went over to Baxter. You encouraged Cove to come. No, just you and I. We can stay here. We can see Baxter whenever the fuck we want, because he's in our neighborhood, right? And I'm not trying to make moves on Baxter. When Cove realized you were planning to stay with him, he smiled a little. Cove shuffled closer and dropped his voice. Honestly, I still find it kind of hard to talk to that guy. I get it. I feel the exact same way. You know he can still see you, right? He knows you're here. You kept quiet and get uncomfortable. I feel the exact same way. He's always so forward. Cove nodded and pulled up some grass. He twisted a few blades together and then twisted them the other way. I'm glad it's not just me. He glanced over to the girls, and it was clear from watching them that Terry at least didn't feel the same. It wasn't surprising given her personality, but you couldn't help but worry how running into Baxter was about to change your day. The two of you waited for the others to finish up. You couldn't hear what they were saying from there, but you could see from body language that Terry was up to something, and Miranda didn't like it. You and your neighbor exchanged a look. After Miranda seemed to calm down slightly, Terry turned around to wave at you. She put her hands to her face like a megaphone. Come on, get over here. Baxter is giving us a ride. Oh, right back? I mean, it's not too bad, right? Cove's mouth popped open in surprise. Then his lips curled together in clear displeasure.
Alright.
I should have known. She's always pulling something. He took a slow breath and shrugged. Guess we have to get over there. It's gonna be really awkward now since he knows we tried not talking to him. You think Terry can get us if we don't go? I don't want to tempt her. Yeah, let's go. You followed him over to the car, apparently about to get a lift. You were just happy to get a ride. You were kind of annoyed that Terry did this. You felt uncomfortable getting a ride from Baxter. I'm indifferent about it. I don't care too much about it. You're just happy to get a ride. Regardless of everything else, you didn't have to walk back. That's what counted. And you were grateful to Terry for arranging it. You arrived at the driver's side car window, and Baxter smiled welcomingly. Hello. Hey. Cove greeted him mildly, his expression cautious. Sup? I'm just like, sup. Sup, bro? Alright, plan mate, let's hop in. You excitedly opened the... Wait, I'm in the passenger side? Why? Why did this happen? You excitedly opened the passenger side door and buckled yourself in. The car was pristine, and you were right near the new car scented air freshener. Baxter had the air conditioner on cold but low, so it was pleasantly cool inside, a nice relief from the summer sun you had been baking in all day. Your friends clambered on and back. It definitely seemed the slightest bit squished back there.
Does that sound alright?
God, your voice in my ear. Welcome to my vehicle. I hope everyone is comfortable, and if someone could point me in the right direction, we could be on our way. You began to explain where you had come from. It was pretty easy to direct him straight down the road in one turn into a parking lot. Baxter nodded for him up in the driver's seat and pulled back into the road. Luckily, the street was still dead empty. It took no time at all for Baxter to park right next to Cove's car. There wasn't even enough time for a proper conversation to start. The occupants didn't seem to mind. There were smiles all around when Baxter parked next to Cove's car. Miranda clapped quietly as Terry cheered. Cove chuckled nervously. You smiled. Yeah, you clapped as well. You nudged Baxter in a friendly way. You were relieved you had made it. I think I'll just smile. You were glad to have reached your destination and pleased at the fanfare of your friends. You didn't say a word, but Terry and Miranda definitely caught your amusement. We've arrived. That was easy. Terry flung open her door and climbed out. Everyone else exited the car as well. The group thanked Baxter with varying degrees of enthusiasm. Baxter himself got out too. Everyone congregated again in front of Baxter's and Cove's car. Terry bounced over to Baxter and offered her hand for a handshake. He accepted it easily with a charming grin. You're a pal. You're too kind. It was no trouble whatsoever. I'll be keeping this car for all this summer. If it suits you, you're welcome to take my number and give me a ring whenever you're in need of another ride. And that goes for everyone here. Oh, you're a chauffeur now? I have a car. Terry busted into laughter and ran a fidget, and she did not know what to do with that. Baxter really went fast, didn't he? He noticed her discomfort and smiled with a soft tilt of his head. I'd be happy to help again, but that's the only reason I offered. If you don't need it, you can pass on it. Can I have your number? Yo, should we act up in front of Cove? Probably not. Just stay silent. When her giggle subsided, Terry put a hand on her chin with brows furrowed. I wonder, would that option be available right now? You could valet us somewhere cool.
What?
Oh, Cove is not into this. Cove was taking him back. He put a hand on the hood of his car. Weren't we going back to the neighborhood? Wasn't Baxter going back to the neighborhood too? Why would we go somewhere else? Because we can? Yo, Terry, you an instigator. Miranda screamed nervously and then committed to piping up.
Maybe?
We could go to the park near my place. It's a really nice place to hang out. You and Cove shared a look. The big park was pretty nice. I probably should have changed by now. I'm walking around in a two-piece bikini, bro. Let's do it. Baxter tapped the side of his face and thought.
It's doable.
He glanced at Cove and then switched focus to you.
Well,
We have 2 cars. If some people want to go to the park, I could still take the others home. But if everyone's going, it wouldn't make sense for me not to. We decided to go back to the neighborhood club and went to continue the hangout session at the park. I ain't trying to stick around Baxter too much because I'm trying to get closer to Cove. I'm sure you guys want us to go to hang out at the park, but I'm trying to continue my route with Cove and focus on Cove only. Baxter's becoming a huge ass distraction. I'm going back home with Cove. You'd rather go back for now, you let the group know. Yeah, and I'm in a bikini, fam. Both girls frowned, neither wanted to leave you or Cove behind. Terry especially looked troubled and started bouncing in place.
No.
Today's all about us hanging out. We can't just bail. Miranda nodded and bit her lip. Oh, dude, Cove, they're guilt tripping us now. We don't have to go to the park. Going back to the neighborhood has plenty of appeal. It could prove to be the better idea. Cove Winston shook his head. Cove's trying to just get away from Baxter.
don't worry about it.
No, really, it's fine. We've done plenty of hanging out today. If you want to go to the park, you should. It'll be sunset by the time you get over there anyways. The day's done. Just have some fun with Baxter. Okay. The look on Baxter's face. She didn't sound too thrilled, and Miranda patted her on the shoulder.
Okay.
Guess we'll see you later then? Probably. Code smiled and she rolled her eyes. Code smiled and she rolled her eyes at his wishy-washy answer. He knew you'd be seeing them again. Everyone finished saying their goodbyes and the 3 climbed into Baxter's car. You waved by, you nodded, you watched. Just waved by. Terry waved back with both hands enthusiastically while Miranda waved like a princess from the back seat. Before Baxter drove off, he inclined his head to you and Code. Then Baxter rolled down his own window.
See you.
Have a safe journey back. I'll see you around the neighborhood. Yeah, you will see us around the neighborhood. Baxter started to pull out of the parking lot and Cove waved them off, stepping forward as they pulled away. Then it was just you and Cove left in the parking lot. He rubbed his hands together for a moment and unlocked his car. You got into the shotgun seat this time, and Cove took his place at the wheel. He put his key in the ignition, turned to you. I'm surprised you didn't want to go. What? I was ready to go back. Thank you for giving me an out. You didn't respond to that. Actually, I only wanted to go so that you had a reason to leave. Wait, what? I only wanted to go so that you had a reason to leave. Wait, what? Nah, I don't understand that one. I was ready to go back. I don't know. I was ready to go back. Okay, he just smiled at that. I was like, did I skip again? Code smiled satisfied and finally turned his key to start the car. The car rode back past quickly. They were all familiar roads you'd seen before. Soon you returned to the comfort of your own neighborhood. Code pulled in and parked. He shut off his car. Then you both got out to stand in the road.
I guess.
I guess that's it. Thanks for the ride, Cove. I'll see you later. It was fun. Pleasant farewells given, you walk to your front door. You completely changed out of your swimsuit into more comfortable clothes. That was definitely a benefit of coming back. Time ticked by as the sun started to set. Orange gold light streamed in through the windows. You could tell the weather was still really nice out there. Your attention was taken by your phone. You saw it right away as your phone was in your hand. Miranda's personalized text tone sounded. It pinged on your desk. Miranda's personalized text tone sounded. You had different text tones for almost everyone important in your life. You thought Miranda's was especially fitting. It played and you snatched it up to check your phone. Hey, mi chico, we're gonna see fireworks. Do you want to come? Oh. And Terry texted Cove. He said he'll be there. How did their trip start at hanging out in the park and end at finding some previously unknown fireworks spectacle? It was definitely news to you. Fireworks? I'd love to. Yes, okay, I'm tired. No, sorry. No, I'd love to. Fireworks was kind of out of the blue, but it sounded like a lot of fun. That was something you couldn't miss. The text was weird. Was that text like I sent it to Cove and then... Or it was Cove sent to me, but it was just on the wrong side of the screen. I don't know. Miranda sent back a cheery, smiley face. Not even said. Okay, I'm texting Miranda. Okay. I was like, what? Then you got a yay, and she sent another message that you and Cove that told you that Cove would be out of his car soon. Out at his car soon. Why the fuck isn't Cove just texting me? You quickly got yourself ready and headed out in the world once more. On the way, you sent a message to Cove that you were coming. You texted that he was already outside. Just as promised, Cove was waiting by his car. He hadn't bothered to change at all. He was quite comfortable going around in swim shorts. He slipped his phone into his pocket and waved you over. Without needing to say a thing, you got into the shotgun seat. Cove looked over to you from the driver's side and expected to start up the car. Here we go again. Yep. You pulled out into the road and raced towards the city as the sun continued to sink below the horizon. When city lights sparkled around you, Cove started looking for a parking spot. It had been a smooth drive, but unfortunately finding parking was a task. You tried to text Miranda to see where they had parked, but she admitted that there hadn't been any openings around there. They had gotten lucky with one single spot. Cove had to drive around a few blocks, but finally spotted something. He pulled in and parked, feeling just as triumphant as he had won an actual prize. Oh, we're here! Where we saw Shiloh. Terry sent you a text saying to hurry up and get to the waterfront. Miranda attached a helpful picture of where they were. You pointed the way to Cove, and the two of you jogged around a bend and then down the brick-lined walkway. Eventually, you saw three silhouettes in the distance. They started to wave and yell. One of them jumped in place with their arms going back and forth. It had to be your friends. You rushed over to them. Miranda and Terry ran up to meet you halfway with faces full of smiles. This DLC is long as shit! Not even DLC, just route. We missed you. Buddies, I knew the day wasn't over for us. Hey, I'm glad we found you. Parking is crazy. Baxter had stepped up at some point too. He ran a hand through his hair, trying not to interrupt the reunion. Hello. Hey. Cove gave him a nod. With the band back together, the group walked back to the area where Baxter, Miranda, and Terry had originally set up at. It was a quiet, open area on the waterfront. Cove let out a relieved sigh after things calmed down. So did we miss anything?
Nah.
No, you're good. Nothing's happened yet. We think it's gonna start really soon, though. What are these fireworks even for? Well... She smiled a big grin at Miranda. Randy talked about watching fireworks at the park, and that reminded me about how there's this big company having an event tonight. I heard they were gonna have fireworks. There's no way we were ever getting into that party, but... She put a finger up and her smile turned devious. I'm positive we'll still be able to see the fireworks from here. They can't hide explosions in the sky from the public. That's ridiculous. You suddenly wondered how Terry had convinced Cove to come without prior explanation. He was utterly stunned that this was the source of the fireworks. To be fair, you hadn't asked Miranda for the details either. Cove scratched his head in defeat. I guess we're already here. It's kind of too late now. You bet your wet blanket it's too late. She shook her head with exasperation, but let him off with minimal teasing. You felt excited, you thought this was kind of a silly situation, you were nervous about how close the fireworks would be, you felt pretty laid back about the whole thing. I think I'll be excited, you know, because it's always fun to hang out with your friends, so. The spontaneity of the whole thing combined with the amazement of fireworks was a recipe for you to be bursting with anticipation. It couldn't start soon, though. It could start soon, though? Or it couldn't? It couldn't. Terry led Miranda to sit down the oval slabs along the path. Miranda took a seat and began tapping her knees together as she waited. Terry, meanwhile, crouched more than sat. Baxter flashed an unreadable smile at Cove and you, and then took a spot next to the girls. Cove seemed surprised and looked over his shoulder to watch him begin to chat with Terry.
I think?
I guess he's trying not to upset us? Upset as why? By interjecting into the group because, he's not, familiar. Whether he left to make Cove and you more comfortable, wanted to escape potential awkwardness, or if he really had just hit it off with the girls earlier was anyone's guess. And that's nice. Something seemed to strike Cove as he tried unsuccessfully to hide a smile. Most of us are in swimsuits. Wearing beachwear in the middle of the city in the dark while waiting for a fireworks show was clearly the joke of the day for him. Cove snorted once and then looked back up at the sky. But I'm not sure if this tops that one night you went around town with me and Mom dressed in my pajamas. Oh. You laughed too when you remembered the incident. It had been quite the escapade. Cove shook his head fondly and seemed happy. Oh, look! The fireworks! The flash lit up the sky with a brilliant green. Your eyes flew off the building in the distance and silently watched it with bated breath. You heard a second boom and a red firework lit up the sky. The show's starting! It's so pretty! It's been a while since I've seen fireworks. Because literally New Year's Day, I was at work in the building at midnight. They came running over to get closer, positively beaming. Sarah pressed herself to the waterfront fence, getting as close as physically possible without just going swimming again. Baxter followed a few steps behind, his mouth hung open at the sight for a moment until he caught himself and once again shifted to pleasantly composed. Baxter, it's okay if you're blown away for the fireworks. More fireworks went off, shooting out hundreds of tiny sparkling lights, and the colors stood out starkly against the dark of the night. The biggest one washed your surrounding with their hue, turning your world blue and then red and then golden.
Welcome.
Did I deliver or did I deliver? Miranda's eyes glittered and she lightly bumped Terry with her hip. Good job. Terry stumbled at the friendly nudge but was pleased with the compliment. She grinned back. Miranda lightly swung her hips to the opposite way to give you a bump as well. It was friendly and soft. We did it! You gave her a little push and turn with a laugh. You were pleased that you hadn't missed any of the show after all. You were glad that everyone seemed to be having a good time. You were uncomfortable with how near it was. I think I would be happy that everyone seemed to have a good time. Cove stared up at the sky with wonder, while Terry squealed in joy after a series of especially grand explosions. Miranda pointed to one that was shooting up, then gasped when it bloomed, and turned into a huge sphere of violet light. Baxter smiled in appreciation. It was good to see your friends in high spirits. The rest of the group huddled around the railing to take in the show as closely as possible. Miranda stood close by. Terry's hand gripped the top. Cove laid his arms across it while leaning forward, and Baxter rested his elbow on the rail, putting his back towards the fireworks. We seemed to have more fun watching the others than the actual show. Oh, wait, Baxter, that's cute. She pointed at a golden firework and beamed. That's so cool! Terry held up a hand for a high five. Miranda obliged her. Terry whooped and shot you a smile. What color do you think the next one will be? Without giving Baxter a glance, Cove answered immediately. Green. It was orange. Baxter chuckled, but wasn't interested in calling Cove out for being wrong. Is that your favorite color? Green. It's one of them. I think that's nice. It matches you. And is yours black? That's one of them. Cove smirked just a little and left the conversation there. Alright. I'm standing next to Cove. The fuck? Cove looked away from the fireworks and grinned at you. He was glad to be spending time with you and tilted his head at a spectacular multicolored firework of love. I think that's been my favorite so far. He shot you another look and nodded, wanting you to move up closer, in front of him. Oh, wait, what? You could see the night's lights reflected on the water. You rested your arm on Cove's shoulder, you leaned your body against Cove, you said, no, wait, what? I'm taking my chance. He's offering? I'm leaning my body against him. You rested against his side and let yourself relax. He felt solid and sturdy beside you. It was comfortable. It took a moment to watch him and the fireworks reflected in his eyes. Cove grinned like a kid. Cove's gaze drifted from the show of dazzling lights straight at you, and he sighed dreamily. You didn't know when you had last seen him so blissful. I mean, this is a really cute little story so far. The spectacle continued to up the ante by bringing more fireworks out at a time. The colors danced across the sky and reflected over the water. You reached out a hand and watched as it was tinted green while a big boom sounded. Fireworks were a normal summer tradition, but this was adamantly an unconventional approach. Showing up in the city last minute to watch a display from a technically private event that made this feel special in a way that just planning to go to a fireworks show never would. Tara's idea may not have left you with a lot of time to prepare, but it sure led to a unique situation. It was clear this was an unforgettable night. As the finale sounded, blazing the sky was unbelievably Wait, what? Blazing the sky with unbelievable beauty. You remember us thinking that there might never be a night exactly like this one again, not for the rest of your life. You plan to hold onto the feelings you had in that moment for as long as you could. Aww. That was kind of sad. But cute at the same time. But holy fuck, 55 minutes fucking later. I don't know if this is the longest one or the party one where Shiloh interrupted Miranda's party was longer or not. But anywho, this is where we're gonna stop for today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.